All right, everybody, it's Tim Stark again. I told you all I was going to keep you informed. This time we're doing this in a video form because I'm trying to expose more of the truth about these bullshit scamtuaries and all that kind of stuff. All of these Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, everybody involved in it, whether it be Carol Baskins, Pat Craig out in Keenesburg, Colorado. All these places are nothing but scams, and I'm going to prove it. I'm going to invite everybody to go onto YouTube and look up a show. It's called Healing the Tiger Kingdom. Pat Craig at the Wild Animal Sanctuary in Keenesburg, Colorado, just produced this hour-long lie of it's just nothing but lies, nothing but bullshit. In there, they claim, they are the largest sanctuary in the world, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's pretty simple to become the largest. But whether or not you're the best or anything, or whether or not you have to follow the same criteria, the same regulations, the same guidelines as everybody else in the country, if you don't have to do all that, shit, it'd be pretty easy to succeed and become the largest. But now, I'm going to nitpick you there, Mr. Fat Craig, because I watched this video of yours. And number one, I see you're trying to make as much profit as you possibly can over the rescue and shutdown of Tiger King. Well, that's just fine. You mentioned in their beginning of the thing, I don't know what that dumb bitch's name was that commentates it, but she states in there that over the years, you've rescued thousands and thousands of animals. Proud of you. Now, can you show me where they're all at? Because later in the show, it says you roughly have about 550 animals in your care. So if you raise not 1,000, but thousands and thousands of animals. I don't care, it's been a 40-year period. But hell, everybody knows you didn't really start rescuing animals until you dove deep down in and sucked USDA's ass along with Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries and PETA and all them. Because you weren't taking in that many. You've never rescued an animal in your life. You've stolen them. You've mooched them. Is all you've done. But they state in your little film that you all have been working diligently with the United States government to create this big wonderland of the Wild Animal Sanctuary. Well, I'm going to tear your Wild Animal Sanctuary apart, big boy. Because I'm tired of you getting to survive on guidelines that none of the rest of us get to abide by. Even in your own damn film, there was another lady, a blonde-haired lady, standing there talking, standing in front of one of the enclosures that's only 8 foot tall with a tiger on the other side of the fence. Now, go on and on and on. It talks about, how pitiful, how pathetic. You don't say some, you say all private owners. You use definitives. All private owners are bad. All zoos are bad. Everybody's bad, but the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, Fat Craig and his crew, they're the only ones that can do this stuff. Well, I watched it, and then what amazed me is how their goal was to raise $500,000 in this short little time period where they put out the premiere of this hour-long bullshit that's full of lies. Hell, you even talked. Y'all even talked. But hell, according to the lady, I watched that show and it said that I was going to get to hear the tiger speak in its own words. I didn't hear that tiger speak at all. I heard some dumb bitch speaking for the tiger, but I didn't hear that tiger speak at all. So, I'm going to use your shit in a little bit of reverse, but yet first I'm going to describe a little bit of this stuff that you all go on there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Fat Craig, but I remember you doing a show, I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look it back up, but I think it was on Animal Planet or National Geographic or whatever, and it was called Growing Up Black Leopard, where you had Eddie, your black leopard. and you were raising it, and you had no freaking clue what the hell you was doing. You damn near killed him as a cub by a couple different things. Number one, it says he was born on your property. Then I guess the first question I have, prove to me why you took him away from his mother. Why you were allowed to take it away from its mother, bottle feed it, raise it in your house, take it out into public, let all kinds of people interact with it, do a damn show where you're letting the film crew, the reporters, and everybody else right there. You've got this cub, or actually I've seen that you had tiger cub, you had this leopard cub in your house running around at about 3 or 4 months old with a little infant crawling around on the floor and shit. I don't know if it's your kids, your grandkids, friends, family, I don't know. But damn, you exposed an awful lot there, didn't you? The other thing I noticed on there is it talks about how we as private owners crammed cats into cages together and everything. If you watch, there's a real quick, about a half a second clip of how Pat Craig did his shit. You'll see a clip where he opens a door and he lets about a dozen tigers come busting through the door, with him standing in the cage, number one. So, are you that good and nobody else is? I call bluff. We can go, we can meet together. We can meet at your place, Pat Craig. And let's see if you know half as much about big cats as I do. Let's see if you can maneuver around big cats like I can. So I challenge you, big boy. All you got to do is call me. Now, I'm going to pick out a couple more things here. You know, I just visited the Wild Animal Sanctuary, I guess about, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, something like that. Might have been a little bit longer, I don't know. And I did a Facebook Live. I wanted to show people the caging you have out there. Like I said when I was there, hey, all props for the big size enclosures. I'll give you credit for that. But when you look at it, your enclosures cost probably about maybe 30% of what everybody else is required to do. When you are only putting up 8-foot tall enclosures and all that kind of stuff, and it's sitting there showing. Now, guess what else we have there, Pat Craig? I'm going to inform you of some of the research that I've been doing. I'm going to let you in on a secret. I have emails between Dr. Gibbons, Dr. Goldentire, Dr. Lori Gage, and quite a few other inspectors that have been on your property discussing your shitty facility. But yet, the big wigs within USDA, which is Dr. Gibbons and Dr. Goldentire, are specifically telling them to overlook anything at your facility and give you a good inspection report so they can protect you. I'm going to take your protection away, you fat bastard. You've always been a worthless piece of shit in this industry, and I'm going to take you down. You know, it hasn't been that long ago where you were doing nothing but threatening to kill every animal on your property because you didn't have the funding and everything. Once you realize, like every other scamsuary in this country, that as long as you hang tight and you stick in with PETA and the government and all that kind of shit, they come and attack innocent people like myself. Because there's another thing I noticed in your little film. They said my name. They mentioned Tim Stark from Wildlife in Need. That's all they did. Wonder why. Why is that, Pat? You were on my property. You came and stole my big cats. I didn't see no video footage of my place on your fucking film. Mainly because my place was not disgusting. I agree. Jeff Lowe's place was disgusting. I agree with that. So you showed all kinds of footage of the rescue at Pat Craig, or at Jeff Lowe's. You showed all kind of footage of the Tiger King Park. You never showed the first cage at Tim Stark Wildlife and Needs facilities. Not one time. There's a reason for that. Because I wasn't doing it wrong. I got targeted because the only way you scamsuary fuckers make money is to come and steal. You stir up enough crap to cause trouble and so you can come in and steal other people's animals. Then that way you get paid by the government because there's a whistleblowing fund. I know all about it. I've already traced it all down. You're getting what, Pat? $50,000 per cat? Is that what the number is? This is all just my opinion. But guess what my opinion's going to be here before long? My opinion's going to be proven fact. That not only are you getting like $50,000 per cat when you steal them from places like mine, then you get more or less child support for the remainder of that animal's life. How hard would that be? Like I said, you don't have to invest money like the rest of us to build a proper enclosure, one that actually follows USDA guidelines and standards and regulations according to USDA. They have specifications out there. Hell, you ain't even up to the old specifications of 12 foot tall and structurally sound. Wildlife game fencing is not structurally sound for a lion, a tiger, or a bear, especially only 8 foot tall. So, I also noticed in this video, you dumb motherfuckers have cougars, leopards, and all that kind of stuff in these big fancy enclosures with no roof. Are you fully aware that like a cougar can jump 12 to 15 foot straight up in the air just like that? So how is your 8 and even maybe, okay, I'm going to give you credit. Shit, your cougar might be in a 10-foot enclosure. Or hell, let's just say a 12-foot enclosure. You think that cougar or that leopard can't reach the top of that with no problem? Now, the other question I have. Damn, I heard you all bragging about this new big 9,000 acre thing that you got. And you've got a 240 acre grizzly bear habitat. My question of the day is, number one, how many grizzly bears get to enjoy that big habitat? Other question I have, how in the hell do you account for those animals on a daily basis? If those animals have 240 acres to roam on, where you all call them free, no, they're still behind a fence. They may have more room, but the one thing I noticed, not only when I was at your facility in person, but even on your own damn video that you showed, all of those animals that are there walk around in a daze. They're confused, they're lost, they're depressed, they're looking for their caretakers, the people they knew all their life, whether they were only 6 months old when they left that facility or 60 years old. They're looking for their companions. You stole them. You robbed them of that. There are places that need to be shut down, different places and stuff. I agree with that. But I was USDA licensed. Since when can one federal agency overrule another federal agency? I was told by USDA that everything I was doing, whether I was declawing cats, removing them from their mothers, or using them for public interaction, I was given permission to do every bit of that by the agency in which I was licensed under, which was the Animal Welfare Act, which is governed through the United States Department of Agriculture. But yet, just because your buddies that you sleep with, PETA, and the government are trying to shut us down, next thing you know, I'm a bad guy. And I'm doing all this wrong. And I'm abusing animals, neglecting animals. Again, Pat, even on your own film, I didn't see you put any footage up of me doing any of that. I didn't see you putting up footage of any of my shitty enclosures or any of that kind of stuff. Were my enclosures small? Yes. But you know why? Because they were built to fucking regulation. That's why. Had I had the opportunity to, number one, instead of a cage, one tiger cage costing me $30,000, hell, my cage might only be a quarter of an acre, where yours is, say, an acre. Well, hell, you only have to pay 20 or 30% compared to me, what I built. So that wouldn't be hard. Now you're begging for people, oh, you can come visit this place, but only if you become a founder. Really? So you sell an acre of that 900 and whatever acres you all bought, or 9,000, I mean. You sell an acre of it. Now that makes a person a founder. So do they get the deed to that acre? That's my question. since you're promoting them to founder of this sanctuary, refuge, whatever the hell you want to call it, does that make you owner of that acre? So if I come and buy an acre, am I going to get a fucking deed? Now, the other thing, hold on just a second. Boys, quit. Sorry, I got two dogs over here wanting to play. Now, I see that they keep linking this into captive wildlife crisis. And damn, there's a lot of these things, the numbers and stuff just didn't add up. Didn't add up at all, because I'm going to throw some of you animal rights activist numbers back in your fucking face. And you're going to have to account for it, whether you like it or not. Because like I said, all of my stuff is not going to be allegations and assumptions. It's going to be proof. Now, the numbers the animal rights activists put out there is that there's anywhere between 5 and 10,000 tigers in this country. Number one, that just shows how fucking stupid you all are. You can't even come down with a better number than that? Between 5 and 10,000? That's double. Now, I'm going to take your high number, since that's the numbers you all wanted to throw out there. You all wanted to damn, blast them out there. So I'm going to take your numbers, 10,000. Now, during your film, it stated that in today's world, there's roughly 20,000 captive wildlife animals in captivity. So if there's 20,000 and 10,000 of those are tigers, you mean to tell me there's only 10,000 of all the other animals in this country? You all ain't smart enough to catch up with this motherfucker right here. It'll never happen. I will use your own shit and throw it back in your face. Now, we also see that, hell, even on screen, you want to lie out your ass. As soon as they introduce Fat Craig, he wants to stand there and state, here I am standing out here on the walkway. Any dumb motherfucker can see you're standing in front of a green screen, you moron. You're not standing out on the damn walkway. You're standing in front of a green screen. But yet, again, everything you scampuary people say are nothing but lies. Now, it also states in there that all this horrific stuff, that these tiger breeders, these big cat breeders, they're breeding them to sell them. Now, let me explain to the people out there that are ignorant to this damn industry. There is a reason why tiger breeding picked up so much in the last 15, 18 years. And that is because at one time, we were allowed to use our cats for public interaction for the most part throughout their entire life. No injuries, no nothing, blah, 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 blah. Then the Haley Act came in. I'm not going to explain that to everybody. If you go look it up, it's an act that was created because a young girl went in to get her damn senior pictures taken. And to make a long story short, she went into a tiger cage, stepped on a tiger's tail, tiger stood up, whooped her ass, killed her. I feel sorry for her. But that created the Haley Act. That is what took our right away from us to be able to use our own animals, our own property to do what we were doing with. Somehow we got governed. Now we were only allowed to use our cats for a certain amount of time. And more or less, you've got a lousy 10 weeks in an animal's life, in a lion, tiger, whatever. You've got 10 weeks to use them to fund stuff, to make money with. That's what any business is based around. If you don't believe me, why is Pat Craig and them begging for $500,000 donations for this one film? Is it not a money-making scheme? At least we earned ours. You all just sit out there and scam yours. Yeah, you may take care of cats, you may take care of animals, but fuck, when you're getting $20 million a year, goddamn, you shouldn't have no problem. Number one, your cages should be not only huge, they should be up to regulations and standards. Now, I'm going to go back to the Haley Act, because what it did was it took all of our rights. Every animal owner, every big cat owner, every bear, we weren't allowed to use the stuff out in the public anymore. So we were limited to, if a cat's going to live 20 years that you used to be able to use for 20 years, now you're only allowed to use for 10 weeks. So more or less, you have to try to make enough funding to support that cat. Or, well, actually, the whole litter, if you have a litter. You have to come up with an idea, a business idea that people want to attend. And guess what you found out, even according to your thing? People love it. People cherish it. The only thing bad about it is good people aren't going to stand up to fight bad people. That's the problem with this country, is the good people bow down and just act like it don't affect them. Whether it be this sheep bullshit of getting a vaccination or whatever, the people in this country need to start standing up against the corruption, because they have no right. When the Haley Act came in, now if you breed tigers and you get a litter, you can only make money in 10 weeks, where you used to be able to make money in 20 years using the same cat. Now you're confined down, and just for that one cat alone, if you're only allowed to use it for 10 weeks to make some type of money mess, to keep your business going, there's 42 more weeks in every year. So just for those other 42 weeks, you still have to figure out how to monetize to make a profit. So what do you have to do? You got to breed another damn litter. So don't put the blame on us. You can stick the blame straight up your all's ass where it belongs. Because had you animal rights activists, and as you can see, animals, I'm going to prove my point. I love animals more than anything on this planet. But animals have no rights. Simply because, just like what you all proved in your new film, we're going to let you all hear it come from the tiger's mouth, from her own words. No, it was not. It was all made up words, edited, practiced, rehearsed, and then you got cry. Oh my God. You got to do that a couple times in there too, because you got to reach down and pull the heartstrings of people, just like all con artists and scam artists do. Now, like I said, people loved what we did. Now, other thing I'm going to prove to you, another thing that I'm going to bring out that are fact-based. Why? Because I may not have a memory, I may not know my name or what I talked about an hour ago, but I know my shit. They tried to say that on your film that old people are raising tigers and selling the tiger parts and all this kind of shit on the black market, blah, blah, blah. How about if you go back, you scam artists along with Dan Ash. He used to be head of, I think it was U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and then he had the tigers, the lions, and chimpanzees and all that kind of stuff put back on the endangered species list, or put on the endangered species list, before he was promoted to being CEO of the American Zoological Association, the AZA. Now, when he did that, if you dumb, illiterate motherfuckers go and look up the final ruling in 2016, when tigers were placed back on the endangered species list. The final ruling, when it was open for discussion, because that's the process in which it's supposed to go through, even though it didn't go through the correct process, it was all manipulated by PETA and by the GFAS and everything, the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. What they did was, if you look at the final ruling, it states in there, people were making those false accusations that people are breeding big cats just to sell their body parts. Even the government stated in there, there's never been any proof of that. But they lived off the what if. But maybe we do need to put them on the damn endangered species list so they can't sell the parts. That wasn't the logical reason to put them on there. It was all done fraudulently. So the final ruling of the tigers being put on the endangered species list specifically states that everything you said in that film is pretty much a fucking lie. That people aren't breeding them to sell body parts and to sell the skulls and the hides and the damn, all that kind of shit. That's all 100% false. You just love making that shit up because it sounds legitimate. I'm here to show it's not. Now, you made this film, so I'm curious to know, how much did it cost you to make that film? Because, hell, it was done professionally. I give you credit on it. Usually a professional film has to be done that way because you have to make sure your lies are in order. If you're just speaking a statement of the truth, you don't fucking care. Like me, as you see, I haven't been edited yet. Not yet. You will see where there's spots in this film that we're getting ready to do that will be put in, but not me speaking. Right here I am. They're not going to edit this. So I'm here. So, you know, I see that you have fake donators and all that kind of stuff on this thing showing people sponsoring and donating. Anonymous, this or that. It's called baiting the pot, you dumb bastard. I ain't stupid. You can fool all these people that are supposed to be donating money to you. You ain't gonna fool me. It's called baiting the pot. You stick it up there. Oh, look, so and so donated 20,000. So and so. Oh, we'll match 100,000. It's called baiting the pot. It's called scamming. 100%. That's what that's called. Now, when I was out there at the Wild Animal Sanctuary, it was impressive. The size of the buildings, the $1 million walkway. But guess what? The majority of those buildings had nothing to do with animals. The walkway, the animals don't benefit from it in any way, shape, or form. Damn, just think if you would have even just took that amount of money and put it into those barren-ass enclosures you've got and actually created habitats instead of just grass, plain, desolate, boring-ass enclosures. The animals are just flat out, ridiculous. Now, there's also, if you go back and watch a lot of the footage, whether it be on this Healing the Tiger Kingdom or anything Pat Craig's ever put out there, or more pretty much any Scamtuary owner, they stick their hands in cages. They go in and out of the cages. They even did it on their own damn show. Hell, on there, if you watch real close, I think it was at the very end maybe, they were showing the film crew in a cage. There's 2 black bears walking around in that enclosure. The film crew is up on top of the van, like a bear can't get on top of a van. So you chose to risk that film crew's life just to make your film. I'm pretty sure that's a violation of everything. So, now I got to flip pages because I took so damn many notes there, Pat, and the GFAS. Like I said, how do you get away with just having 8-foot tall fences? According to my lawsuit, when I was in court with USDA, even though I proved it was wrong, they were fighting me, saying that the new specifications for a big cat enclosure was 12-foot tall with 3-foot turn in or 16-foot tall straight up, or you had to have a big moat and all that kind of shit and blah, 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 blah. I didn't see any of that on any of your enclosures. Not the first one. So, I've got to ask why. The other thing that I did say that made me proud on your all's film is when the tiger started talking in its own words. Damn, that tiger must have come from my place because it cussed. Damn. Even on your own film, it's saying hell and damn and all kinds of stuff. Damn, that must have been one of my cats. Fuck, I'm proud of that one. Now, the thing about it is, like I said, I've got footage. Go look it up, people. Growing Up Black Leopard, starring Pat Craig and his worthless piece of shit family. Having all these animals in their house. Oh, but nobody else should ever be able to do it. Pat Craig started out as a private owner, period. That was a worthless piece of shit, and then he tried to start taking in unwanted animals. He was not rescuing them. He was taking unwanted animals. Those zoos don't breed. They don't overbreed. There's no zoo in this country that has all of this so-called surplus animals. They have surplus that they're willing to get rid of. But I've never seen them neglected or abused. But according to you, at least now you all are starting to, bash the zoos too. That they're no better than all of us private owners. But I'm still concerned if private owners that have all of this private experience raising this shit, worked it 24/7, 365 days a year, And these zoos that fork millions and millions and millions of dollars pretending that they know about animals and doing this or that, none of us, according to you all, are good enough. I'm going to prove to you, you all are the worst of the worst. That bitch Carol Baskins, Pat Craig, Alice Dagoon at damn Turpentine Creek, whatever the hell her name is, I'm coming after every damn one of you. Try to shut me up. You hear me? I'm blasting your names out on social media. You damn right I am, because I'm going to expose the truth. Now, I also noticed that you even stated on that thing when the tiger was talking for itself that there's more food than they could ever eat. I noticed that because when I was at your place looking over your big fancy walkway, there was big piles of meat splattered in different enclosures that they hadn't even ate. You know that causes obesity? Oh, but I guess that's okay with y'all. Because see, a true animal person moderates and watches how much they feed each animal. But you all just launch food over the fence and then don't go in and clean it up after you've launched it over there. So the stuff I was seeing had been sitting there for days. So I'm not like you all. I didn't take pictures. I'm not going to sit there and bash. It's all there. You know I'm telling the truth. You know damn good and well I was right. And how do you go in them big fancy enclosures? I didn't see any lockdowns. So anytime you do go in there to clean anything, fix anything, how do you do it? Even if you drive in, if you're going to fix something or anything, you have to get out of the vehicle, don't you? So I've seen it for myself. I videoed it. I've got video footage of a truck driving in a bear enclosure. And the bears are right there free. Guy gets out of the truck. Since when is that allowed? It's not allowed for any of the rest of us that you put down. So I'm going to end this here in a minute. I'm going to talk to y'all because I did notice as I was Googling shit, there is a video of just two of my cats that are there at Pat Craig's. They're located at Pat Craig's right now. And although they look peaceful, they look content, they're also heartbroken. They're looking for their playmates, their daddy, the other human caretakers that they grew up with. So I listened to them. You all just showed a quick video of it, but damned if I didn't hear them talking. And here I'm going to show that video of my two cats talking while they're at your fucking desolate, depressing fucking facility. So that will be coming up. So I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to point out some of this stuff. So be prepared for it all, people. Hi there, everybody. My name's Nafasi. I'm the beautiful thing on the left. I'm actually a hybrid. I am a liger. And when I was born all, I was deformed and everything. My legs were all curled in. But thanks to my daddy, Tim Stark, they were going to put me down, but he said, not no, but fuck no. He said, no, let me have her and let me see if me and my people can work our trick and get her through it. And look at me now. Look how beautiful I am. Like I said, my name is Nafasi. And guess what? I used to have a brother. His name was Kubwa. And since I've been here, I don't know what happened to Kubwa. We also had another playmate, and his name was Kahari, King Kahari. He was a liger, or at least that's what we were told he was. And then this big boy sitting behind me, if he ever quits rolling around acting goofy, because that's all he ever did, his name is Tabby. Hey, Tabby, what you doing over there? Now, I want y'all to look at us. You see how I keep looking around? I'm miserable here. I'm looking for my daddy, and I'm looking for those people that used to take care of me at Wildlife in Need. Why did they take me away from there? I loved my companionship I had with my human people. Now they just throw me out in this field and just abandon me. They took my other family and playmates away from me. And look at Tabby back here. He's just sitting there. That's all we do day after day, is we sit here all miserable. You know, we've got this new guy named Pat Craig. They say they care for us, but all they do is care about the money that they make by exploiting us, by filming us and putting us on social media and begging for donations. Just think, if they wouldn't have been able to steal them from Tim Stark, they wouldn't have been able to film them and make money. They had to have them because they're in the rescue business. If there's nothing to rescue, they're out of business. So they created this thing and destroyed me and my whole family. They took everything. I used to be able to live and watch hyenas, and I used to be able to watch bears and play with my other sibling and my friends and see all my other big cat friends and everything, and mainly my human people. Look at me. There's not a day goes by. Look at us. This is all we do, is sit here and stare, hoping one day we'll get to see our human companions again, because that's what we live for.